Ho ho!
Yesterday I asked you about Mbappe. You didn't clarify whether he was going to be able to travel or not. I understand that yesterday, at the end of training, he left the practice match early. I wanted to know whether you think he could have done more to be here, and whether you think he'll be able to play again before the end of the season.
Well, I don't know. There are 2 weeks left, and depending on how the discomfort he's dealing with evolves, we'll see whether he can play again or not.
Let me insist on the same point here. Would you have liked him to travel, even if he was dealing with discomfort, just to be here with you in difficult moments, to be one more member of the group?
Well, I would have liked him to be 100% fit and able to play from the start. That's what I truly would have liked.
It's been a very difficult week. What do you say to the fans who are suffering today after everything that's happened and the way this season has ended?
We can't really say much because we understand the frustration, the disappointment, and how unsatisfied they must feel with this season. The only thing we can do is work, look toward the future, and learn from everything we've done wrong this year. We know that Real Madrid always comes back. We are a team that has fallen many times and risen many times. But right now, I understand the anger any Madrid fan may feel, just as we feel it ourselves. That's very clear. And now we have to work to turn the situation around.
I want to ask you exactly about that. There are still 3 matches left this season, 2 next week, so you can't really disconnect from the competition. I don't know how you're going to handle all of this day to day, especially with everything that's happened recently. Where is your mind at right now?
No, with even more responsibility, actually. Knowing that our season effectively ended today, what we cannot do is let ourselves go. These are 3 matches we have to go out and win. Here we defend something much bigger than all of us, much bigger than our own prestige, which is the Real Madrid badge and millions of supporters. And we have to show that we truly are hurting by delivering 3 great performances and 3 victories.
Regarding today's match, it gave the impression of being a team that had surrendered, that looked beaten, with very few signs of rebellion or fight. I understand it was probably a very difficult day for you, but I'd like to know how you saw it.
No, it was a match that became very difficult for us far too early. We were facing a great team, and above all, they are very good when they get ahead on the scoreboard. They manage possession very well, moving a lot of players around, a very well-drilled team that played a great match. The shame is that we didn't score one of the chances we had, even at 2-0, because maybe then we could have felt we were still in the game. But it was not an easy situation for the players. I asked them to keep fighting until the end, regardless of the scoreline, and that's what we tried to do.
You spoke earlier about only looking toward the future. I was wondering whether you think this team needs rebuilding, or whether you believe the current squad can start winning trophies again next season.
No, I think I've already said this many times. We have a great squad from which we can get much more out of. Of course, it hasn't been easy. And I don't think everything that's happened over these months is an excuse, not at all. But we've had many injuries to important players. From there, I think the club will always look to improve, even though we already have a squad filled with very, very good players, players any team in Europe would want. Now, all that's left is, as I said before, to think about the future, understand all the things we need to correct, do much better next season, and that's it from our side.
Continuing along those lines, you talk about having great players, but I wanted to ask you, beyond each player's technical quality, what foundations would you build this Real Madrid on?
Well, I don't think it's really my role to analyze that, but as I've said many, many times, collectively, we need to take a step forward. We need a much clearer idea of what we want to do. We need to put the collective ahead of the individual, because beyond talent, we always need to have a very clear identity. For me, that's the starting point. And above all, we need to learn from the fact that we dropped too many points against teams and in matches where we shouldn't have. Playing against Barca and losing, of course, they're a team on your level, but there are many other matches we simply cannot allow to slip away the way they did. And surely that is one of the lessons we have to take from this season.
You've already been asked about the match and the squad, so I want to ask about you personally. How are you? And regarding these final 2 weeks in your future, do you have a pending conversation with the club, and what would you like to happen?
Well, you already know that we'll probably have a conversation with the club, as is normal. But right now, what I want is for the team to finish the season properly, not to give up in these final 3 matches. I think there will be opportunities for players who have been training well to get minutes and finish the season on the pitch. That will be my objective and where I'll focus over these next 2 weeks. As for what the future brings, we'll see after May 24th or 25th.
Amid all these strange situations happening around the team, at least from the outside, today there was also the late change from Huijsen to Asensio just minutes before kickoff. It also sounds strange that a player dealing with flu symptoms was going to start and had to test himself in the warm-up. Can you explain Huijsen's situation and why he ultimately didn't play?
Well, no, he wanted to play, but he didn't feel strong enough. He felt quite weak during the warm-up, and it was my decision to play Raul instead because I believe that in a match like this, we needed energy in every position. That's why I made the decision.